Hello, I'm Nancy. Welcome to my channel. I really enjoy these next step videos because I have a great desire to help Christians find and then walk in the plan of God for their lives. God loves us so much that He delights in giving us the desires of our heart. But I find the closer I walk with God, the more His desires become my desires. And working together, we can get His desires accomplished. That is when I believe that we can do great and mighty things in the earth for God. One thing I believe is of importance in finding and walking in God's plan for your life is to begin to see time as God sees it. God is not limited to time. So to some extent, we should not limit ourselves either. I'm in my elder years, as you can see. So I can't do some of the things that I used to do. But there's still many things I can do. And God always has a way of bringing people along my side to do what I can no longer do. My point today is please don't allow anything to stop you in your pursuit of God's plan. It could be that you've made life choices that have delayed what you believe God would have you to do. Or maybe if resources to do what God's called you to do have not arrived, you may believe that you're past the time that God can use you. God has a way of making a way when we cannot see a way. Instead of being delayed in our thoughts of time, I suggest that we begin to look at time as a process of going through. And the key word there is through. Remember, we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We do get to the other side of that. God is the one who is responsible to make the provision for what He desires for us to do. We are only the instrument that He uses for the plan. So don't take on responsibility for any delays, troubles, or setbacks. Just keep yourself before God so that you can receive what you need to begin to take your next step. If we have been developing as Christians and that we are supposed to grow up, the book of Ephesians is a great book to read if you're desiring to grow up as a Christian, then we know that everything that God calls us to do, He's already provided, and really it's already within us. It is up to us to learn how to go within and access that provision to bring it into being in the earth. The more revelation that you have of God inside you, the more He can use you for His purposes, because you're not looking unto yourself as the resource. God has the resources, and He is the provider. We're only the instrument that He uses to get done what He wants done in the earth. God always deals with us in the now. I find that He does not give baby Christians grand assignments to do for Him, to carry out in the earth. A baby Christian probably doesn't have the wisdom and certainly does not have the integrity or the character to carry out big things for God. God has to grow us up. He has to teach us, lead us, guide us, direct us as we make ourselves available to Him. If you don't make yourself available, well, then He's still waiting on you. If you have not received God's plan for your life, then you probably need to grow up a little bit more. Do so. if you have received God's plan for your life, that's a great thing. But know that most likely it won't happen immediately. If you look through the Old Testament, you will see many times that great men received early revelation from God, but it took a space of time for the revelation to become real in the earth. Most had to wait before they received what God had provided. The thing you have to do in the waiting is to receive your plan in faith, then endure any contradiction that may come your way. It may be feelings, it may be other people's words spoken over you, it may be natural circumstances in the earth. You may even begin to feel like the plan has died even before it began. This is when your faith, we are people of faith, remember, this is when your faith has to carry you to endure any contradiction that you may be facing. This is also a time of preparation to reach the plan. When you endure, when you prepare, the day will come when God's supernatural fulfillment will be yours. This is how you grow supernaturally. When God told me to write that letter all those years ago, I had no idea that writing a letter was taking me into 30 years of prison ministry. I knew the voice of God, and I obeyed the voice of God. It is my belief that spiritual things are more natural than we may think. It was a natural thing for me to write the letter. It was a supernatural thing for God to carry me into prisons and jails, from Georgia's death row all the way over to San Quentin. The thing we want to avoid is that verse in Proverbs 13:12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. We don't want to get into that situation. If we will hear God's voice, if we will receive it by faith, mix his words with hope, then we can begin to move forward. We can hold on to what God has said, and we can begin to train our thinking so that we think like God thinks. That's a great thing. And while we wait, we can begin to gain skills needed for whatever we have been called to do. Everybody needs to learn something. God will make up any inadequacies that you may have, but he will not make up for what you are responsible for learning. We cannot be a lazy vessel for God to use. If we do our part, God always does his part. Practice whatever is needed to get better and better in the call of God on your life. I'm a little over halfway through this year of YouTube postings. I cringe when I watch some of those earlier posts. Sometimes I cringe when I watch last week's post. I realize I still have a ways to go before I am acceptable in my own eyes. But I am improving bit by bit, step by step. Just remember, realize that while many people may think of time as the enemy, time can be our friend too, with the proper mindset. Don't get discouraged. Finding and walking in God's plan for your life is a great thing. Hold fast. I can guarantee you that it will be worth it. Hold tight in faith. Endure any delays. Prepare and practice. And then let time do what time does best. Time ages you and qualifies you. If you're enjoying my videos, please do me a favor, like and subscribe, and check out each of my playlists when you have opportunity. Thank you for watching today, and we'll be together again soon.